All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. All right, let's get this show on the road. All right, here we are, September 8th, 2024. And while that's loading up there, I'll take a moment to thank you guys for taking a moment of your time to be here with this precious family. All right, so let's get started here. Not much to look at today. We got a few little spits and sputters going on. Our main little object going down at the bottom there, and a few little flailing objects going off to the side here. Let me scooch and catch. Try and catch this opening frame right here. All right. Back up a few. So here we are, 024, September 8th. Okay, we were talking last night about this little dot right here, our little dark core right here, surrounded by plasma. You can see it over on this side right here, and a little, plasma going around it. The instrumentation reacting to it. Okay, showing that there's a CME there. And then as it go ahead, as it moves on out, you can see something coming out on this side, something going in that direction. Not every time is everything crystal clear and capturable. But if you, well, can't really see right up in here, you can see on the red side our object right in that zone. It's probably right in here. It's kind of hard to see sometimes on the difference model. Sometimes it paints it really well, other times not so much. There's your activity for today. Not much to really look at, really. But still a couple things captured in there. Oh, pretty quiet there. Big old S shape, something. Watch out. They're blocked out some of the images there. I don't know if it's blocked out or glitched out or what, but something's there that's glitching out the computer or the image processor. All right, so there's your day. Let me go ahead and hit that loop and let it play real quick. Fix some wavy lines. All right, there we go. So let's come on over here, open up the solar ham, and talk about our geomagnetic forecast for the next couple of days here. First off, let's start up here. Our solar flux index is down up to 228. It's up another 6 points. Solar spot number count is 176. It's down 3 points. The area is, in the green still. That's good. Pop this open. Open this up. Zoom on in for you guys. All right, 3814, still looking a little weird. Meanwhile, over here, you can see all these kind of dissipating, moving off to the limb. Meanwhile, we got a 3820, 3813, and this little complex is still kind of there, but fading. So it looks like it's deteriorating as well, which is some good news. I'd rather have good news than bad news. Whoops. And nothing else really coming around the limb on this side, so that's good news to report as well. All right, so let me just slide on over and scroll on down and see how fluxed we are. Goes X-ray flux, that is. We're still got a few little lines there, but that's all good. All right, so there's your day for today. Pretty low start right here. Boom, here was our incident. Little bumpiness going down, coming back up. We had our data dropout, but between here and our data dropout, we're still having an event right there. And let's see if we can go take a peek at that, shall we? You don't? You don't want to see that? Oh, man. Well, tough. We're going to look at it anyways. All right. Oh, yeah. Maybe I should have made that the thumbnail, huh? Nothing to see here. Move on. Yep. Nothing to see here. Just move on. Let me capture this really quick here. All right, we got 19 frames. Let me Well, that's good enough right there. Let's see our big object emerge. Or as might be happening, we're passing it, okay? At this point right here, you can already see our shape right here, the cone coming out, a bunch of plasma all splaying out, ready to wrap around this object here. Oh. You can tell by our flow, the way it's spreading out. Here's your bigger black object right there. All right, it's a bunch of little satellites trailing along with it as well. Okay, so, and then you can see up here light bending. All right, the magnetic field that's around this thing is bending this light. All right, also you can see stuff flailing off the top right there, much like our other images that we've captured before this big object. Oh, wow, you're 9 minutes for notification, huh? I was wondering if everybody was asleep, because I was about to just take a big old nap. All right, so there's a good capture of it right there. Okay, you can see kind of going off the screen right there. Let me go previous frame. You can actually see the backside arc of this object right there. Oh boy. Maybe it was better when there was nobody here. All right, yeah, you can clearly see this arc right there is the backside of our round object, this big black spheroid, and the plasma splashing over it. And that was just now going on currently. Let me just try to grab that thing again. Wish we would just set on that. Oh. Yeah. Oh boy, we got a big one just passed by the sun again. So let me go ahead and start that, and then you can see as it goes by the sun or we pass by it. Let me slow that down too. It's the motion that our eyes detect. You can see it a little bit better. And let me just try to scooch this over. Look on this side, you can see the little moon that's going along with it. Okay, there's your bigger object with a bunch of satellites, little moons trailing along with it. One out in front right there. Here, we'll even pause. There's good capture. All right, yeah. Nothing to see there. Okay, meanwhile, back in here is your bigger object, okay? And then here's your little satellite that's magnetized as well. It latches onto plasma, and there's plasma still streaking back from it. You can see it's surrounded by plasma. So there's a little satellite from the bigger object right there. All right, let's move on, shall we? All right, let's come back over here. So there's our event right there is our, well, our bigger object. And it's just coming down out of it right now. So, all right, back to our regular report. Now, over here to our three-day geomagnetic forecasting right here. All clear for tomorrow, the 9th. But September 10th, they're calling for G2. All right. So we'll go take a look at the event that came off on September 7th. That'd be this G2. Okay. And then another G1 forecasted for September 11th. All right. So here comes some more activity. All right. So everybody hold on. Meanwhile, X flare potential 15, M flare 55. Your moon's 33% illuminated. A lot of beta gamma, beta gamma, beta gamma, no delta configuration. That one's stable. The other two are declining. So everything's kind of quieting down as far as these sunspots. Our big event came off the side over there. You just saw the big blast. Right now, our geomagnetic field is pretty quiet. All right. Auroras are very light. We're like G2 or K2 on the KP here. All right. So KP2. Really quick, this article, magnetic filament located in the northwest quadrant erupted during the early hours of Sunday. The coronal mass ejection, CME, was produced and believed least partially Earth-directed moderate G2 geomagnetic storm watch was added for September 10th. Okay, so the event that came off the sun yesterday, that we looked at last night, due to hit us on the 10th. Okay, and we'll look at the object that accompanies it too, to see if it might have any kind of enhancement and be a little stronger than a G2. Let's open up this tracker because they're logging this event right there. Still that one from last night. Okay, we hit on the 11th, right on the cusp right there. That one not showing this blast is going this way. All right, so this latest one is heading our way. Look at this over here. You can see a little moon captured in this stereo A image right there. All right, we're all good. Let's move on back and come on over to the space weather now. Okay, so Saturn in opposition. This is the weekend of Saturn. On Sunday, Saturn. On Sunday, Saturn 8th. Yeah. On Sunday, Saturn 8th, the ring planet. The ring planet will be at its closest to Earth for the entire year and marvelous sight throughout the small telescopes. Okay, wonderful. What I want to talk about is a puff of dark plasma is heading for Earth. A filament of magnetism erupted off the sun on September 8th. The blast hurled a coil of cool dark plasma toward Earth. I could go on for days about this, but I'm just going to leave it alone. You can see it, okay? It's still illuminated. It's not dark plasma. It's just the sun's behind it, okay? You're seeing, the shadow of the CME because you're on the back side of the CME. The sun's behind it. You're just seeing shadow of the plasma. That plasma is still illuminated. It's not dark plasma. It's not cool either. It's the same temperature as all plasma. It's just from a different angle. The sun's behind the camera here, it's not illuminating this matter. This matter is in shadow because the sun's in between us and it. Anyway, move on. Here's your Schumann for today. What a bumpy ride again here, huh? And a little break right there, and then just recently this latest little spike right here. This almost looks like last night's. But they didn't even update this yet. All right, well, another bumpy day. Yep, that's updated. Okay. So, another bumpy day. This affects your moods, affects animals, everything. So, that looks like the old data. That doesn't look like today. Well, it says it is. All right, let's move on. Get on over here real quick. Bless you, Hopkinson, for doing that, sweetie. Okay, taking a little peek around at our weather. Here's this grumpy old face right there. The typhoon that went through this area ravaged Vietnam, China, and everything. You got more rotation growing out here off the coast again there. Another one back behind it here, too. There are some grumpy spirits out there, and your neighbor harassing you doesn't surprise me at all. People are losing their marbles. All right, Storm's going up here, vortex here, another one there. We'll get to this stuff on our thermal report tonight, but what I want to do, whoa, is get our sandstorm going here. I'll take off those crazy winds for a minute. All right. So as you can see, our sands plume is like coming out, but turning back around, and it's not very intense right now. The remnants of what came off are all getting dispersed and getting very weak and stuff through this whole zonal area. And you can see all of our storms lining up here. One right there, one right here, one right there. Let me go ahead and put some wind back in there real quick. And there's your conveyor belt starting to pick up. See, as soon as the sand stops, there's rotation, rotation, rotation. All right, so we're getting the conveyor belt effect of our hurricane starting up here, you guys. Hold on tight. Meanwhile, there's one right here in the Gulf. Just the hot water in the Gulf spinning around is going to make one come up in there. Okay, we need that sand bad. Okay, everybody pray for this upward trend going up this way, pushing the sand back into Africa is like really split it up right here. And let's talk about our tropical convergence zone here, okay? The equator, usually air doesn't come across the equator from the southern hemisphere into the northern hemisphere. There's a zone where it stops and everything in north stays north and everything south stays south. Well, they're talking about the equator has moved 150 miles. Well, sure does, because this whole convergence zone is 150 miles higher up there. Okay, it's almost like taking the Earth and doing that with it. See what I just did there? Put that back in the zone where it used to be. Oh, wait, it's down here now. See what I'm saying? That should be more like this. But it's now like that. And all this air is creeping up through the southern, from the equator up into the northern hemisphere. And it's doing it over here as well. See it coming up and going over. See, well, if I could get that, whoops. If I could just do that little tweak thing with the wind again. Anyways, if I pulled this down, that would be turning around down here. So that whole thing has shifted a little bit, okay? Why? Because the planet's shifted like this. All right, so as you can see, here's your sandstorm plumes. Let me take the wind off of there real quick. Whoops, off with the wind. Okay, so very diverse and spread out across northern Africa because some of this stuff is being pushed back in there. It's really clogging up this area, Saudi Arabia area. We got a very intense storm coming out over there right now. You can totally see it, or you can't. Okay, enough looking at that. So there's your sandstorm report. Yeah, I've seen the video. That's an issue. The best thing is to avoid them and stay away from them. Don't talk to them. Avoid them. Ignore them. Say sorry. I appreciate your time or whatever, but I have to go. Make up a story. I'm sorry. I have to go see my daughter right now. She's in the hospital, or where. If it's for your safety and you have to avoid confrontation with that guy. He's a little but I know, I saw. Okay, that's still going on over there. This whole region's in hot water. They messed up big time. And it's showing. You can see it. You can see it. Yeah, ignore them. Don't confront them. Don't have any conversations with them. Just be like, hey, sorry, gotta go. Oop, emergency. Call yourself and make your phone ring, or do something, make a little beep in your pocket, and gotta go. Bye. All right, so there's your sandstorm report, and now let's come on over to our chemical report. SO2. Okay, swing back around to the country divided, huh? Doesn't have to be this way, but I guess everybody insists on having it their way. So here we are. Off to the right, you can see very porous crust, a lot of perforations, a lot of SO2 coming out of the ground. The other side, more thicker rock type crust, but perforations of volcanic sites. There's your country divided. All right, let's stick the fire report in there too. Oh boy, this is where. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. Here we go. As we come into Canada, you can see all the fires up here in Canada being caused by these SO2 emission sites. All right, it was a big issue up here in Canada last year, and seems to continue this year. But the problem is now it has really traveled south into the lower 48s, and we have a huge area of SO2 emissions now all throughout this area and fires going along with it. What is spinning in the background? I do not need that. Thank you. All right. So, as you can see, lots of fires in that region. And now there's one here just outside of Reno. There's a hydroelectric plant with thermal vents right there. It's now spewing SO2, and there's a huge fire outside of Reno. SO2 plume. That's why. And it's because all this activity just north of it, too. This is getting really bad up here, you guys. If you could get out of that area, I would. I would kind of do what you have to do. But you can see by the map, there's fires breaking out all over these plume sites. And every time we get around to pressure, a new site that opens up, boom, fire comes out. Here at San Francisco, there's a fire right next to this plume. Here's another one down here. There's another fire out here in Nevada at a plume site. Okay, this stuff is starting to spread down to Los Angeles, down into Baja, Mexico. All right, even spreading over to here now. Look, we have fires in this plume. Let me pull it over and slide it. See a little red dot showing up there? Not that one, but there was one right there. And I don't know if the government's telling the fire departments or warning them or anything. Be aware that some of your fires are being started from underground, and that's an issue. The fire captains in areas like this should be alerted and well informed of what to do, what happens, and stuff in that case. But I have a feeling nobody's saying anything. Coming over here, not quite yet. That's not. There's a lot of factories in that area, so. But up here, up in Canada, everybody be aware. That's all I can say. Okay, let's do the ocean one. Get our sea surface temperature map back up. And good news here, at least, all these SO2 plumes and fires have relieved pressure off the coast. Ooh. Yeah. You can see our cold water inundation is really getting stronger here, all the way out to the outer plate boundary here, the Juan de Fuca. These last little pockets of heat are diminishing and retreating. There's cold water up here. Yep. And cold water down below. Maybe I should just do that instead. All right, so this SO2 emissions off the coast here, or inland, have relieved a lot of the pressure instead of earthquake activity. Interesting how this is panning out. Meanwhile, still heat plumes right off the coast of California here. Don't be surprised we start seeing more of this activity in California. We've already got a couple of them, and in Nevada here, so this could spread a little bit if we don't see some pressure release in the region. Also growing pressure in this region down in Los Angeles is yellow Well, this little arc of yellow right here is coming back to life again. And I showed you on the earthquake map, it's that whole shelf area right there. And we've been seeing earthquake activity out on it. It's good, but it's not enough. We need to see more activity out there relieving pressure. Okay, as we come out here, here's your comma shaped yellow bar that's just off the coast of California or off the Pacific West Coast. Little cool patch that's picked up strength here now. Okay, we got hot, cold right next to each other. We're going to see rotation there. Okay, also, this patch is kind of more shifted this way a little bit, it looks like. More centralized here than so much over in the middle. Tamumasi's out here, largest volcano on the planet, going to town along with all the seamounts, little volcanic vents on the floor, any kind of fissures or cracking or anything like that. Going to let hot water, magma up through the crust, and then it heats the water, causing these plumes. You see a good stretch coming down to there, little ball of activity right there. Now, as we come into Taiwan here, where our fulcrum point is for quakes, you can see that the yellow that was in this area is kind of retreated. It's back up in here and over here. All right, but some of the pressure that was coming in this region, creating little sites, has released, and now we're backing down in temperature through there. We also have cold water inundation there. Meanwhile, just above the Philippines back here, also. Okay, here's Java, a bunch of cold water around it because of all the SO2 emissions and volcanoes and earthquake activity in this region. A couple other hot spots that are still growing out here as well. Here's another region to watch. This spot just opened up last week. And we got a little vent going on here, so don't be surprised we see kind of earthquake activity in this region as well. They need some to relieve that pressure right there. Okay, let me pull back just a little bit better and come on over to, whoa, this has really changed now. Okay, it's still this central part right here, nice and organized, very like splattered effect, very dispersed little pockets all up in here, but still creeping up in between Greenland, Canada there. Top of the world up here is really heating up. There's hardly any cold water left up there, just here and there. And a little bit over here. That's crazy. The whole northern coast of Russia, hot water, warm water up there. Don't be surprised we see some activity going on in this region too. All right, so let me go ahead and put your winds on now, and you can see your correlation between your, take those fires off. Now put the wind on. And you'll see the wind patterns correlating with your heat, cold signatures. Okay, so now we got this new conveyor belt type effect with this face, one spinny eye, another spinny eye over here. There's a big old vortex here in the middle, creating the nose. That is so... Oh, boy. All right. And here we have this heat stripe down here. This is where all your hurricanes are going to start forming. Okay, this conveyor belt system is just going to keep plucking these off one after another until we get some more sand off of there to quell these. So we got 3-4 good vortexes starting to form already. This whole area right here, right where this wind comes up and kind of swoops, should be down at the equator. I wish we could get that wind thing to move again. How do I do that? I guess it just glitches sometimes and does that. But anyways, I was trying to get it to shift. This is where your new equator is. That's why air is coming up from the southern hemisphere and making it into the northern, because this is now part of the southern hemisphere. It's shifted down like this. I wish we could have kept that little wind pattern shifted thing effect. All right. And with it shifted like this, it's really blowing air up into the strike zone, really going to create some havoc there. So I have a feeling this is going to start getting really dangerous here pretty soon. Especially we got one brewing already up there in the Gulf. It just said, "Hey, I'm going to get a head start of you guys. I'm not going to wait to form down here. I'm just going to form right here and move on up." So, and then let's come on over here to our Pacific, and I'll let you see the air patterns there. You can see your hot, cold. Okay. We had this effect where it was blocking weather from coming into the West Coast. As soon as something hits this, it hits this pattern, comes down. Well, it's still coming down, but it's getting undersliced like this, and like an uppercut coming up through that downward flow, and it's blowing a lot of the smoke that's in this region out of that region. So there's one little pocket right about here that doesn't have any smoke, and there's smoke all over the rest of the country. But this backwards rotation right here is what's causing this to come up here, and you get this divergence zone right through here where now it tears away and goes back out to sea. So anything that's trying to come into the West Coast, a little bit might penetrate and come through here, but most of it's just going to go right back out to sea. And then you can see our airflow patterns, how it comes up from the Gulf and right up through the middle of the country, separating the country in half. Okay, right down the middle right there. Meanwhile, this region's staying, dry and warm. Well, this whole area is just going to be getting moisture after moisture after moisture. The conveyor belt effect, if these things keep riding this, will come right up through here and out through there. There'll be severe thunderstorms up in there. Also, another thing too. Let's just stop for a second. If our tornado alley used to be in this region right here, right? And now everything's pulled down, and now tornado alley's up in this region up here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's your weather pattern configurations matching up with our heat signatures. So very, very dangerous situation we got going here. And now that the sand is diminished over there, going to be dangerous. What you saw happen over in China could possibly start happening to the East Coast in the middle of the country here soon. So everybody pray, get prepared just in case, okay? Once that chain of hurricanes starts moving through that area, there won't be time to evacuate. You want to get out before the first one hits, because the first one will hit, cause devastation, and if you try to get out, now there's a second one coming, and you're trying to escape through a bunch of blocked roads. No, you got to get out before the first one, because the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one, you won't be able to recover and get out of there. So if he's thumping the floor right now, I'd call the police and have a noise report. Say, yeah, your neighbor says you're being too loud. Have the cops razz him a little bit. That'll put the little fear of God into him. Oh, you got video too? Just be careful, okay? Best to just ignore them. All right, here's your patterns over here. You can see everything matching up like it is. Heat signature out here causing vortex right off of Taiwan right here. So watch out, Taiwan, China, all that region again, because you got another one right there, another one back behind it. And you see the conveyor belt going over here, bringing all that stuff through this zone. So let me just release that wind right there. All right. And you can see zonal stuff coming up from the southern hemisphere here, coming up to this point. It shifted down like that. All right, real quick. Oh, here's this vortex over here in India that keeps taking that SO2, throwing it up against the Himalayas and recirculating it and recirculating it and recirculating it. So that wind pattern, this setup right here, has kept the CO2 or SO2, my bad, SO2 emissions concentrated over that area. Forgive me, I'm still recuperating. All right, so there's your airflow patterns. Pretty amazing what's going on here. Very disturbing too. So everybody hold on tight because weather's going about to get a little tricky with all of this training in. Okay, time to start watching your Ryan Hall, whatever weather people that you like to refer to. They got a bunch of more instruments and more time to report on it. But I'm just showing you cause and effect. All right. The reason why we're having that, because there's thermal vents opening up on the ocean floor. They're causing vortexes to rotate, okay? They're causing conveyor belt structures that enhance hurricane production. We wouldn't have any of these hurricanes if the sandstorms continued. But that was the contributing factor that kept it down this summer. But now since that's gone, look out, storm doors open. I'm the only weather person you watch. Well, it's kind of hard to watch anybody else when they're not aware of what's going on. It's like really kind of hard. But some people have better radar apps and stuff like that. I'm just your old fart with a computer and a phone. Okay, did we rattle your cage enough with that? I hope not, because that's not what I'm trying to do. All right, our deep quake region. 4.4 down at 520. There's your deep quake for the day. Typical magnitude, mid-range 4. Okay, nothing right at the opening here because we have this island venting SO2, relieving pressure, coming up to like a fulcrum point, but this isn't a plate boundary. This is a 5.3 down at 199. This is this volcanic island right here, and at the base of this volcanic island is 5.3. This thing's coming to life because of a wave of pressure down below coming up to the surface. Coming up through here really quiet. Finally, a quake on this island. Every once in a while, we'll get one. A 5.2. All right, you notice an uptick in magnitude, 5.2, 5.4, or 5.3 right there. So, slight uptick in magnitude. Really quiet through this region. We need to see more activity in here to continue relieving pressure. No fulcrum point quakes, nothing. Just real quiet through that region. Just these three right here. A 4.6 down at 114, 4.7 down at 62, and a 4.9 down at 41. Okay, another one of those magical 4.9s. I'm sure every once in a while there's one, but not just constantly, every time 4.9. So all these volcanic sites, indication of pressure down below, coming up through the strata, through the layers. Ooh, we do have one right here. Baden, Iran. Told you this area is going to be coming to life. They need to pay attention. 4.1 at the surface right there. It's not at a plate boundary. It's, well, let's take a peek at what's really going on here. What's that? Oh. This is one of your, there are some fault structures running through here. So yeah, just off of this fault structure in there. There's a little weak zone right through there. So yeah, I was gonna say that almost looks like a diverse quake right there, but now when I look a little closer, you can see there's some fault lines in that area. They better wake up and pay attention. 4.1 ought to rattle their cage a little in Iran. Very quiet through this area. Lots of pressure under Italy. We still see volcanic activity there at Stromboli and Etna. Lots of volcanoes going off in the Kamchatka Peninsula, and we're also seeing quake activity. Almost a fulcrum point quake. That'd be up in this zone. It'd be more up in this area or inside. So just off the fulcrum point, we got volcanoes right here, all through here. So just offshore right there is your 5 down at 62, 4.95, whatever. 3 right there. Oh, a little jump in magnitude here, 4.1. Okay, indication of pressure building down below. We have that on. Okay. Coming on in, not much. Oh, we need all magnitudes. That's why I was looking so naked. Didn't have my clothes on. All right. Still all the same. Coming up through the fulcrum point area. All micro quaking. Looking good. Looking good. Even fulcrum point quakes way up at this one. A couple of them. 2.4 and a 2.1. Okay. Why is it doing it? Thank you. I hate those blue tabs. All right, fulcrum point quake right here just happened. 1.4. What was this? 2.3. Good. So everything kind of doing its job, managing pressure as it comes in. We do see some little uptick in magnitude with those 5s, but coming into this region, a couple of little microquakes right there. Nothing along the volcanoes though. That's good. Finally, a fulcrum point quake here, 1.6. That's not enough. Energy comes in, drives inland. 1.6, 2.7. Some activity above the geysers today. Okay. Boonville. Is that where all the Boons live? I wouldn't mind living with all the Boons in Boonville. All right, there you go. A little microquaking around the geysers, still kind of keeping magnitudes down as they enter the North Bay area. That's good. Here's one, Hayward Fault, 1.1. Nothing too bad. Okay, good. Let me pull back a little bit. Okay, we have an earthquake swarm going on out here, still at this region at Goldfield. And you see this like linear type stripe starting to form. Underneath this area, there's probably a good crack on the underside of the crust right there. Some magma pushing up through that crack, not able to escape, but still rattling things in that area in a linear fashion. And just take a quick check at that 1.1. They're nothing big. They're a bunch of microquakes, but something happened under the crust, the underside right there. A little crack opened up, or a zipper undid, or whatever. A little activity around Mammoth and Yosemite. I want to check this place real quick. Still some activity, not much, but still a little there. As we come down through here, see, we're seeing quake activity out here on this bulge, this I forget it's called. Oh Lord, help me! What's this thing called again? I'll have to look it up again. Sorry, I'm so tired right now. But this area is that area on the map that's coming to life, that's turning yellow. All right, is this whole plateau little bulge area right here? Okay, I have to go look it up again. Yeah. Activity in Texas here, still 2.0s, 1.8s, our recent one, 1.5 in New Mexico. Man-made perforations in the crust right there, relieving energy. Oh, a little quake up here today, 2.6. All right, all stuff around Oklahoma. Nothing on the New Madrid or the Craton today, which is good. I think that's about it. Quick little magnitude check over here. 3.4, still a little high for that region. 3.4, 3.2s. So still some pressure under this little plate, relieving right here at the path of least resistance, and do a little quake swarm right there of a bunch of threes and sharp twos. Here your fulcrum point, 4.5. 4.8 at 122, plate boundary probably 4.5 at 15, all relieving pressure in that area along with the SO2 emissions, keeping magnitudes down. 5.1 at 143, that's not a plate boundary quake, that's one of these volcanic islands right here. See these little guys right there? So 5 magnitude 5 energy at a volcanic site, indication of pressure down below coming up through the plate. Now I think we're done. Oh, one more. 5.0 Mid-Indian Ridge, almost at our three-way junction spot right here. This is a very tedious spot to watch too, because we got 3 plates, a three-way intersection right here. And just off of it is where you see your 5s relieving energy at the surface right there. All right, I think that completes it. Yeah. Oh, wait, quick stop in Hawaii. Can't forget about Kathy. All right. 2.2. Oh, good. Perfect. Little quake swarming activity going on here. Pressure pushes up underneath the hub of the Pacific Rim as well as the rim. So it's trying to, vent through the volcano, but it's plugged up. We just had an eruption not too long ago. And when it stops, that magma cools and solidifies in the tube, in the chamber or whatever, and then blocks it up. So here we go. We'll take a little sip, and then we will move on to our volcano report. I'll just clear some of this stuff out of here. Okay, up top there, 35 and 32 is 67. 67 volcanoes, wow. And that's just on land. Think of how many are underwater. All this 7 years ago, when all this started happening to me, if I had told you this would happen 7 years later, you would have said, Brian, you're crazy. Well, here we are, and I am still crazy about you. Unfortunately, I went through all the different psycho awards and stuff, and apparently I'm not crazy. Just crazy for you. Karaminski, here we go. No elevation. Oh, there it is, 7,000. Ebico, tomato, 7,000. IBU will be together at probably 7,000, 8,000 feet, right around there. A Vulcanian type explosion occurred from the volcano cinder cone, producing an ash plume. Luatobi, 10,000 feet. Semeru, 14,000 feet. White Island, 4,000 feet. All right. Fuego, sporadic emissions, 22 out of Sabancaya. And that's just in the last few minutes. I mean, here's today. Let's open up today. Time flies here at this channel. Just telling you. That map is sheer insanity as well. Okay, just like those lists. This is those lists on a map, so you could see it. Here's all the names and stuff. You come over here, you can check out this map and go, oh, that's where Rayong is. Oh, this is Ruang up here, and that's Rayong. Almost similar spelling, just the U and the A are backward. Oh, that's where Urda Ale is. So you can kind of get an idea of where all these are when I'm listing them off. Shibaluge, 7,000. Suenosi nothing there. Where'd it go? IBU, Ibu, 9,000. Ooh, a little increase there. Luatobi, 10,000. Couple of satanic dogs. No, they're beautiful dogs, but just be careful what you get. And remember, the Schumann resonance goes nuts, and one of these dogs loses its mind. Just think before you do it. 10,000 out of what? What was that one? Oh, Luatobi. Yeah, okay. Luatobi out of 10,000. Semaru, 14,000. White Island, 3,000. Fuego. Nevada del Ruiz, 19,000. Songay, 19,000. Sabancaya, 24,000. And here are your lists to match the map. Okay, this is sheer insanity. These lists shouldn't exist, all right? And now we have 67 currently active volcanoes. I bet if you went into the grocery store and you bumped into somebody in there and said, hey, did you know we have 67 active volcanoes right now? They'd laugh at you. You go, yeah, right, yeah, sure, right, Yeah, where's our mainstream media? Absolutely absent on this topic. And yet it's putting so much ash into the atmosphere, causing all the weather changes and stuff, and they're just too afraid to tell you. They just don't have the courage to tell you. And me, I don't like being the bearer of bad news, but I kind of had to do it. So here we go with our forecast. So many factors, and with the weather, let's just go. Pretty much cleared out for a minute here, which is good. Current conditions, morning of the 9th. Now we got this region down here that's firing up. I wonder if I can I use these? No. What I want to try to do is this. Because I want to capture the south part here a little bit better, since there's not much going on up north. Oh, we don't have timestamps. Whoops. So right about here, let's see what our time is. Oh dear, it's not going to work that way. Okay, so 5 a.m. September 11th. So this will be the morning of the 11th right here. Okay, so morning of the 11th, noontime the 11th. Convection, nighttime. With the 978 millibar, we're looking category 2, possibly. So that's going to be a strong storm right there. Okay, it just sits there for a minute, turns, starts building strength, rotates, and then starts to make landfall on the 11th. There's the nighttime, the 11th, morning of the 12th. That'll be kind of gnarly in the morning hours right there over Louisiana, possibly. Look out Mississippi, too, because it's just going right up through Mississippi, Alabama. You see this other little portion of this is stronger part of the storm coming down this side. So just because it looks gnarly in Mississippi, it's actually going to be gnarly in Alabama there, too. Back up. You see how that thing comes in? Starts to rotate, bam, like an uppercut from Tyson right there. Boom. That'll be convection the 12th, nighttime the 12th, morning of the 13th, noon, convection, nighttime. We got this one sneaking up that way too. Morning of the 14th, noon, convection, nighttime 15 noon, convection, nighttime 16 noon, convection, nighttime 17 noon, convection, nighttime 18 noon, convection, nighttime 19. Convection, nighttime 20 noon, convection, nighttime 21. This low right here and this high pushing cold air down in. Watch as they kind of rotate together, that pinch off, and then a little shove up north like that, and you start to get your comma shape bottom, and then the tail end of this one right here coming together. Boom. That kind of configuration, the two air mass collision like that, smash, is going to cause problems. Those are the air mass collision ones that I'm talking about. There's September 23rd. Hey, look at that. That'll be the right there. The morning of the 23rd will be the 8-year anniversary for the Revelation 12 star alignment too. Will have been 7 full years going on the 8th year. That's what I mean. So, morning of the 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. 25. Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so really our main concern now is this hurricane coming up through Texas, okay? And that's starting right about now. Right now is the morning of the 9th. There's the noon time tomorrow, convection tomorrow, nighttime. Then we go into the day after tomorrow, noon, convection, nighttime. We get into the 11th. Here's the day, the 11th. You see, it's at a 974 millibar with a little plume out front, really quick growing. Let me go. Boom. You see your plume blossom as it encroaches on the shore, 968 millibars there. Convection comes in at 966 with a nice big blossom head right out in front of it right there, crossing Louisiana, Mississippi right there on the river. Okay. So those are our main events as it makes landfall deeper at nighttime there. And then the next day, September 12th, all throughout the day, tornadoes, large hail, major devastation as that goes up through. A lot of flooding too. All right, so that's our main concern to watch next is this main weather event coming in Gulf Coast. Everybody wake up, pay attention there, watch this segment as it comes through. I'd start making plans to get out of that area if you live in that area. Okay, there's your astrophysics, geophysics. Now let's do our metaphysics and do our spiritual report. Long night last night. We did a lot of explaining, dot connecting. That's all for you guys, so you will understand that you have indeed a foundation in which to work with. Not just a foundation of sand and mush and a bunch of motivational speakers with cute microphones on their ears. No, you got somebody much bigger hanging out. Okay? And that guy happens to have some cool qualities that can help you. Okay? This is about you and helping you with your, you can see that the world has some mental issues, right? And when you've been brought up, no, thank you. I don't stop with this stuff. All right, fine. Just try it a different way. Okay, we'll go to here. Yes. I don't want to, Cloud. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Not right now. How do we get out of this stupid thing? Oh, wait. Continue without storage. Thank you. See that? I take so many pictures, I don't even have storage anymore. I can't even get an email because I got so many miracles on my computer. And there's a bunch of them right there. Okay. April 17th, 2020. Jesus showed up 2,000 years later on Easter in the sky. All right, so there's that, and then we'll pull up a couple other images really quick to read to too. Oh, I want that one from. I gotta thumbnail that thing somehow. World of Science is a good channel if we could get some cooperation out of the computer. Yeah, come on over, give them some love. Check out their community page. They do all kinds of great stuff. We can't stop and check out pictures. You can come over and do that. I'm just scrolling to find the one to read to. That's a pretty cool one. Pretty cool one. Oh my gosh, there's so many more pictures just in the last week since I did this. I thought I'd just scroll down for 5 seconds and get right to it. Come on now. I'll have to post it somewhere better. All right. Bingo. And then we got to open it up too, because then it shows the top part of the picture where there's a cloud up here above the head too. Don't miss out on that part. All right. So we got that. Let's pull up a hard one too. Just real quick. And then we'll start reading. I got a few things for you guys. I can feel you. I know what you're tripping on. So let me just help you with that. As soon as I can get this one pulled up. If I had a studio and a producer and more time, we could just have such a quality show. All right, there we go. Whew. Get this light going here. And everybody get all settled in, get comfy, get in your position, in your little spot. Take a few deep breaths. And I know everybody's tripping about the future, and I've been trying to tell you, don't worry about the future, okay? Stay in the moment. Well, then a lot of you are dwelling on the past and, looking back at things that you've done in the past, right? And you're starting to look at regrets and stuff like that. But that's not what you're supposed to be doing either. So it's important that you do not dwell on the past. You can learn from the past, but do not let it become your focus. Okay? Learn from the past. Don't let it become your focus. You cannot undo things that have already occurred. You just can't. No matter how much you may want to yearn to do so, you can't. So instead of wishing for the impossible, come to me and pour out your heart. And remember that I am your refuge, and you can trust in me in all your times and at all times. Okay? I am your refuge. So trust in me. Pour out your heart. Instead of wishing for impossible to go back and change the past, learn from it. Reinforce your confidence in me by saying, I trust you, Jesus. Uttering those 4 words can brighten your day immediately. I trust you. I trust you, Jesus. Those 4 words right there, all of a sudden, kind of everything washes away. Okay, uttering, whoa, is that a critter? Oh, cool. Sorry. Uttering those 4 words is important. It can brighten your day, and it takes your mind back to me. The dark clouds of worry are blown away by simple childlike trust. Okay, childlike trust. When you get on an airplane, you don't know the pilot. You haven't interviewed him. You don't know how many hours of flight. You don't know how many planes he's crashed, but you trust him to fly the plane. You put your life in that dude's hands, and you've never even met him or seen him, but you trust him. You go to the doctor, you don't know what kind of skills he has. You don't know if he's a butcher or if he's a microsurgeon. He might kill you accidentally, but you put your trust in him. That's that childlike trust right there. Okay? So when dark clouds of worry come to you, say, I trust you, Jesus, and those clouds of worry will be blown away with that simple childlike trust. And when you do that and you see that I am doing a new thing, then be on the lookout for all that I am accomplishing in your life. Okay, you've already practiced some of these things. You're getting well versed at it. Turn around and look back at all the things that I am accomplishing in your life. Ask me to open the eyes of your mind and heart so you can see all the many opportunities I've placed along your path. Don't fall into such a routine that you only see the same old things and you miss all the newness. We keep looking at all these things and we might miss some of the newness here, right? So it's important to, look at all things because you might miss the newness. And that's what we're looking for because I am doing a new thing. And be on the lookout for those new things. Remember, I can make a way where there appears to be no way. And with me, all things are possible. I rejoice over you with singing. So open wide your heart, mind, and spirit to receive my richest blessings. Open wide, here to come. Here come my richest blessings. Okay? Practice some of these disciplines. You will find peace in your circumstances. How do I kill that? I'll put it right back to this one again. No, that no one. All right. Right there. Okay. Because you are my blood-bought child, my love for you flows continuously from the throne of grace. Oh, should have been that one then, huh? All right, let me try it again. Because you are my blood-bought child, my love for you flows. Can you see my love flowing continuously from the throne of grace? Look up and receive all that I have for you. Listen and hear me singing songs of joy because of my great delight in you. You can approach me boldly with confidence, trusting that you are indeed the one I love. Everybody else approach me shaking and trembling. You can come up and go, hi, with confidence. The world teaches you that love is conditional based on performance, appearance, and status. Even though you don't believe this lie, the constant onslaught of that message in the media can penetrate your thinking. So even though you don't believe all the BS, keep watching it and it will penetrate your thinking. The constant onslaught, that's you constantly tuning into it, okay? You can tune out of it. You can unplug from it. You can go outside and turn off the devices. So you're the one that's doing the constant onslaught by tuning into it. And even though you don't believe the lies, that constant onslaught, which you are part of, and the messages that the media give to you, penetrate your thinking. And that's why it's important to spend time focusing on me, soaking in my presence, absorbing my word. I told you I'm a stickler for absorption. Absorbing, soaking it in. And when you're soaking it in, you're also, like in a hot tub, you're kind of soaking in my presence. It's two different ways. You're soaking, like in a bathtub, you're bathing in my presence, and then you are also absorbing my word and soaking in my presence. You know I'm here now, and you're soaking it in, you're absorbing it, going, wow, he really is here. All right. Setting aside time to be alone with me is countercultural. So this practice requires discipline and determination. However, it is well worth the effort because living close to me brightens your life immeasurably, doesn't it? That's living rich and full. When you're living close to me, that means, from my perspective, your life increases immeasurably. It brightens your life immeasurably. And with me is the fountain of life, and in my light, you see light. Look at this. Look at this. In my light, you see light. Light reflecting off of my face. So in my light, you see the light reflecting off my face. All right. A couple more here. I had the other one. Where'd it go? Yeah. That's right. We do need to be physically and spiritually prepared. All right. I take that out of there right there and get a little bit bigger piece. We don't even need that one now. Which one? Oh, well. Oh. Right there. Okay. Again, the foundation is so important. You guys understand this? I uphold all those who fall, and I lift up all who are bowed down. So when you're bowed down, you believe me. And when you believe me, you're lifted up, aren't you? See how that works? When you put your trust and you believe in me, how you're lifted up? You bowed down, you surrendered, you're like, yeah, I believe, I understand. And I do indeed uphold all those who fall, and I do lift up all who are bowed down. And sometimes you and I are the only ones who know that you have fallen. It's tempting at such times to gloss over what you've done or failed to do. You may not be overwhelmed by feelings of shame, but you feel restless and unsettled and kind of guilty. Even at times like this, I continue to love you perfectly. And sometimes I display my love for you in unexpected ways, humbling and delighting you at the same time. This is what deepens your awareness of your sin, intensifying your desire to confess that sin and draw near me. And as you settle into your rightful position, as my redeemed one, your restlessness yields to calmness. Okay? Do you see how that works? When your awareness deepens of your sin, it intensifies your desire to confess it and then draw nearer to me. And when you do that process, as you settle into your rightful position as my redeemed one, your restlessness is calmed. Okay? Your restlessness is calmed. This is how I lift you up when you've stumbled. That's our salvage work during the course of one day. This is how I lift you up when you've stumbled. You have a bad day, you take time, you put your focus on me for a minute. I help lift you up when you've stumbled. And remember that I can make all things, including your failures, work together for good because you love me and are called according to my purpose. So if you love me and you're called according to my purpose, your failures work for good. They're not failures. They work for good. You learn something from them and they aren't failures. You have grown from it, haven't you? Oh crap, we're growing, aren't we? We're getting more mature. We're growing. And growing has to be done a certain way. And that's how I lift you up when you stumbled. Remember, I make all things, including your failures, work for good. How about that? No more failures. So now your fear of failing could kind of diminish and slide away too, because it's not going to be a failure. You'll learn from it. So there is no such thing as failures. Only to those who love me and are called according to my purpose. Now, realizing how much I cherish you even when you're not living well, it deepens your relationship with me, and it also helps you relax and rejoice in my steadfast love. Okay? Now, as we get closer and closer here, you're going to get lonelier and lonelier and feel isolated and like nobody hears you, understands you, believes you, or even cares. Yeah, you might even get hurt when you find out nobody even cared anyway. And you're like, oh, dang. But for that loneliness, I am the antidote to that loneliness. For I am the Lord your God, who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you. I will help you. Close your right hand as if you're grasping onto my hand. This symbolic gesture, with this symbolic gesture, helps you feel connected to me, to my living presence. I'm sitting shotgun in the seat next to you. Reach over and grab my hand in trust. Just the actual grabbing air like that, like you're grabbing onto a hand, that gesture up in your brain connects you to me. That symbolic gesture helps you feel connected to me, connected to my living presence. Whenever you start to feel lonely or afraid, you need to reconnect with me. So when you're feeling lonely or afraid, that's precisely when you need to connect with me. Tell me about your feelings and the struggles that you face. I already know about them, but it does you good to bring them to me. This is again for you. When you're confessing stuff like that, it's for your good. I already know about them, but it does you good to bring them to me. Spend time basking in the light of my presence, realizing how safe and secure you are in me. Okay? Spend some time. Bask here. Let's do this. You got to see that one for a minute. Let's do no. Spend some time basking in the light of my presence. Tell me about your feelings and your struggles. When you do, it does good to you when you bring them to me. And realizing when you spend time basking in the light of my presence, you start realizing how safe and secure you are in me. And I am with you every nanosecond of your life, so you are never alone. You're never alone, ever. Never have been, never will be, never was. I've always been with you. Yeah, you're never alone. Right inside of your chest, right here. I'm right inside of you. Your heart's beating because, well, I'm in there. I am with you every nanosecond of your life, so you're never alone. When you spend time basking in the light of my presence, when you realize, oh, he is here, that's basking in the light of my presence. You've come to the realization that this is really happening and it's true and that I am present here at this moment in time on this planet, present. When you grasp that, all of a sudden everything else becomes true. You start to bask in the light of my presence. And when you're basking in that light, don't forget you're safe and secure in me. When you seek my face and my perspective on your life, sometimes it's beneficial to write out your concerns. This clarifies your thinking and provides a record of your prayers. It also helps you release your problems to me because I am watching over you continually. I am watching over you continually. Okay, that's it for tonight, you guys. I gotta do some healing here. Yeah, that's the end of that session right there. Okay, I love you all. I miss you guys. Yeah, you know what? I think they can hear me telepathically. Guess what? Your brain emits brain waves. You are a walking transmitter. Your brain waves go all over the place, and other people can pick them up and sense them. They might not hear your thoughts audibly, but they are detected by your brain. Your brain does respond to other people's thoughts. And yes, telepathy is, well, kind of real. You just don't hear it or sense it yet. All right, that's it for tonight. I love you all. I miss you all. Until my next show. Look at this. I'm already back. Look at this. I'm already back. If you can tell, I'm already back. And just in case you didn't know, yeah, I'm already back. Okay? I miss you. I love you. Until my next show, I will be back. In fact, you know what? You guys have been, the whole time, you've been caught up with me in the clouds. We met in the air of cyberspace. I can't come over to your house right now, and I want to come give you a big old hug, but I can't right now. So I meet my family in the air. They come over, they meet me in the air. We get caught up together in the clouds. When they see me coming with power and great glory, you're caught up with me in the clouds. You are indeed what raptured, but it's not in the Bible. The word rapture is not in there. So be careful as you watch all these videos and all these theories on pre-trib, post-trib, rapture, mid-trib, rapture. First, they don't even know what tribulation is. Okay, you've been going through tribulation since the moment you were born. Okay, so there's different ways of seeing it, and you got to have the proper perspective. All right, you indeed are my family. You're caught up with me in the clouds. We met in the air. I even worked hard to get this YouTube channel to prepare a place so that we could meet. All right, and prepared a place so that where I am, you can be also. All right, and that's our little sessions, midnight sessions on YouTube. Okay, that's it for tonight. I love you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. Brian Knight is coming like a lion. I'll be back. Bye.